Hello and welcome to the Best Today podcast. I am Shantae Grant, creator of the Best Today Company, where we provide you with resources to be proactive and intentional with your time, with a focus on purposeful planning and routine that's centered around who you are and what you want. So if you are new to Best Today, welcome. And for my loyal listeners, thank you, thank you, thank you. Today, is going to be very short. I'm giving you time to implement this, what we're going to be talking about today, immediately if you like. So I'm going to talk to you about what I call my quarterly kitchen sweep. And I do it in our home as you can guess quarterly, but you can do this as frequently or infrequently as you need. But you will find that the more often you do this, the less you need it and the faster it all goes together. So if you've ever heard me mention the fact that I meal plan once a week, typically on Fridays, it's always Fridays unless we're traveling. I plan on Fridays and I plan meals for Saturday through Thursday because Friday is always takeout and it's 99% of the time Chipotle or pizza from a local restaurant is the other 1% of the time. And so what I do is throughout the week, or once a week when I go into meal plan and throughout the week, I keep track of what's in our fridge pretty regularly because we buy the same thing. Week to week, we literally buy and eat about the same thing. Trader Joe's will get me every now and then to try something new, but other than that, we pretty much eat the same thing. I shop each week so that we rarely have that problem of, I bought an extra can of this or box of this or extra thing of this when we already had one. That was really big when I grocery shopped in store. And before I moved to this method of meal planning that I use now, but now that we order all of our groceries, it's really helped to keep things concise and to avoid a lot of overbuying when it comes to things in the pantry and the fridge and the freezer. So in addition to meal planning, my meal planning routine, which I teach you, by the way, side note, how to meal plan and how I do it. And it's very not how you've been taught before. It's not, okay, here's a list of things in your pantry. Here's how, do you need, like, check this box? Do you need nuts or blah, blah, blah? I teach you actually how to do it in a way that is simple and makes sense and is effective for you and your family. And that video comes free when you order the Best Today meal planning pad, which we will link to at the show notes for today's episode at besttodayguide.com/15. You can get the meal planning pad by going to besttodayguide.com/meals, MEALS, or just go to besttodayguide.com/15 and we'll link to it in the show notes as well. But in addition to my weekly meal planning, right? And again, I tell you how to do that and how I do that in detail in the video that comes with the meal planning pad. I also do this quarterly kitchen sweep that I wanted to share with you today because it's really helped me to stay on top of what's in our fridge, pantry, and our deep freezer. And here, I'll say this again, as time goes on, this takes less and less time. I think when I did it a few weeks back, it took me about maybe 15 minutes to hit all the zones, which I'll talk about in a second, which is the goal because you get to stay more on top of things. Okay. So if you're ready to learn how I do it, let's get to it. Okay. Number one, we start with the zones. The zones are the pantry, your refrigerator, your freezer, and if applicable, your deep freezer. So the pantry, or I will say wherever you keep your dry goods, because our first house didn't have a pantry. We had this cabinet that was a lower cabinet that had two huge Lazy Susans in it, and that was our pantry. So for you, this could be the cabinet or collection of cabinets that hold your dry goods. If it's multiple places, I want you to consider how you can condense the location of your dry goods. This is going to help you in your day-to-day, and it's going to minimize overbuying so you can actually see everything in one place and allowing items. It helps prevent items just laying around in your pantry for months on end. I know some of you have to pull everything out to see what's in back. We want to avoid that if that is in fact your desire to have like a more streamlined pantry. But I just wanted to be clear when I talk about pantry, that just means wherever you store your dry goods. So again, the zones are pantry, refrigerator, your freezer. That's talking about the freezer that's connected to your refrigerator for most people. And then your deep freezer, if you have one, I'm going to tell you a deep freezer was one of the best things I purchased in 2020 as a result of the pandemic and things getting low in supply. We bought that deep freezer to really help with that. And it's been fantastic. I will also note that you can easily do what I'm about to walk you through with also outside of the zones, but with your cabinets as it relates to cups, plates, kitchen gadgets. You can run this same type of system and process and sweep basically and put it outside of just these zones. But for today, I'm going to talk to you about clearing these zones in a quarterly or however often you'd like to do it kitchen sweep. Okay. I'm also going to slow down because I just realized I'm talking really fast because I'm really excited because I have loved how this has helped us so much in the kitchen. We spend so much time as people in our kitchens because we have to eat, right? And this just really helps to make it remove a layer of stress from the kitchen. Okay. So number one, we have our zones: pantry, refrigerator, freezer, deep freezer, optional. Number two, now that you have your zones, so write out what your zones will be, you're going to do the exact same thing in each zone, but you'll do one zone at a time. So you'll do your pantry, then you'll do your fridge, then you'll do your freezer. And if you have one, then you'll do your deep freezer. Now, this takes me about 2 to 5 minutes per zone. As you continue to do this, again, time will decrease. So here are the steps you're going to go through for each of your zones. Number one, go through and pull any and everything that is expired, anything you have not eaten that has lived there for over 3 weeks, anything that you know you and your family, they're not going to eat, anything that's gone bad, just get rid of it. Pull it out. We actually had a box of things that we just realized we don't enjoy anymore. And that was something that it wasn't expired. It was still good. And the first time I did one of these quarterly sweeps, we just took that box to a local food pantry. And there we go. We didn't waste food, but we don't eat these anymore. We don't like these anymore. Or we've changed a lot of our eating habits and what we're eating. So we just took it to someone who could actually use it and get it out of our home. Get it out of your house, right? Don't say, oh, I'm going to make that in Thanksgiving and it's like July. And you're like, but what? But why, right? So that's number one. Go through, pull all of that stuff out, and you're going to do this in each zone. Number two, you're going to take inventory of what's left. I add it all to my meal planning pad. Again, we don't have an overfilled pantry or fridge or freezer, so this list isn't long for us. We buy what we will eat in a given week, and the only food items that really are in surplus are things like flour, because I like to keep an extra bag of flour in case I run out mid waffles, extra butter that we keep in the freezer, and meat. Those are really the main things that we keep in bulk or surplus for the most part. And you are going to be amazed at how much money you save when you're not out there buying stuff that you don't consume, when you're not overbuying, when you're not thinking, oh, I'm going to eat all of this and then it goes bad. You'll also start, as you do this, to see patterns and say, we always buy so much of this, but we don't eat it. Let's get a smaller size, or maybe we don't want to eat this anymore. So that's what I love about it, is it gets better and better over time. And you really are going to start seeing how this is saving you time and money in your kitchen. At Best Today, we exist to help women just like you be your best one today at a time. So each week on the podcast, we are going to highlight your stories and your voices. So let's see what's in the inbox today.
Hi, my name is Galina. I am a primary care physician and a Best Today Guide fan out in the Boston area in Massachusetts. And I just am really excited to share a little bit about how much I love the Best Today Guide. One of my sisters, Nadine, who was the one who introduced me to the Best Today Guide a few months ago. And when I first heard about it, I thought, no, this is not really for me. I don't really need it. I have my system. I feel like it works. And, I thought it sounded cool, but I just initially didn't really think this was something I needed. But I watched one of Shantae's videos introducing it and just got instantly hooked. First of all, I was really just drawn to Shantae's style and personality and her philosophy on life and how to balance yourself, and just felt like she was really real and I could relate to her. She knows what it's like to be balancing multiple things, to be a busy professional. So I just really loved that. And then I kind of got more intrigued and decided to try it out. And my sister and I both did it together. We ordered it around the same time. We're anxiously waiting for the first shipment to come out. And when it came, my sister lives in California and I live in Boston, and we actually waited for each other to open it up together. And ever since then, I think for the past 6 months or so, I've been just really feeling a new sense of just calm. Life is still hectic. Being a physician during this pandemic has certainly been really stressful, and I can say there are definitely days where I just feel really overwhelmed. But I do feel like the Best Today guide has really helped with that. I feel that I am able to I've always been a planner, but I feel like now I sort of plan my day and plan my week and my month with intention, and just really taking the time, a few minutes each morning while I drink my coffee, to really just think about what it is that I want to do in order to be my best today. Some days that could just mean just getting through it and being able to survive. And some days it means just kind of being able to tackle a really crazy day and feel energized at the end of the day. So I don't know. I just feel that this guide has allowed me to embrace that, and just to let myself be my best each day, one day at a time, just like Shintae says. I've also I've been trying to listen to the recordings of some of the talks in our Best Today Guide community, which has also been really helpful. And I just feel that I couldn't do what I do now without getting burnt out if it weren't for the Best Today Guide. And it's really been life-changing for me. So I hope that this is, helpful for anyone out there who's thinking about it. And I am really can't stop talking about it with friends and others. Bye.
Galina, first of all, thank you so much for what you do. You came in to using the Best Today guide as a physician in the middle of a pandemic. And I can only imagine, and we know from you sharing with us over in the community and the membership, what that experience is like. And so just to know that the resources that we have created, the Best Today guide and the membership, have aided you in aiding all of us and aiding your community, and the place you serve as a physician. I'm just so grateful for you, and grateful to know that these resources have been so helpful for you. I remember when Galina shared a picture of her and her sister, they FaceTimed together to open their Best Today guides together. They both said, okay, if you get yours first, you don't open it, we'll open it together. And that just means so, so very much to me. So thank you so much for sharing your story. And if you have yet to understand the beauty of the Best Today guide and our Best Today membership, you can order your Best Today guide at besttodayguide.com and get your first month in the membership for free. Every order of the Best Today guide gives you your very first month of our membership for free, because we want you to come in and see that this is a place that is unlike any other. It is not a Facebook group. It is a membership that was built in a place that is just the membership. So when you're in there, you're just in the membership, and that's all the content you'll see. That's all the conversations you'll see. Because again, we want to create spaces that allow you to be proactive and intentional, not to get distracted and waste your precious time. So again, order your Best Today guide at besttodayguide.com. Or if you're ready for the starter bundle, you can go to besttodayguide.com/start, which comes not only with the Best Today guide, your month in the membership, Right Now routine, the bonus pack, as well as Clean One Room, like all the resources. And that's what it includes at this time, the starter bundle. You can learn more about the starter bundle at besttodayguide.com/start. Thank you so much again, Galina. We are grateful for you, and we love having you as a part of the Best Today family. Okay, so that's number 2. You're going to take inventory of what's left. I literally write them down by hand. And that's actually how I start my meal plan. I don't have to go and search things. I know what I have because I'm looking at it on my list. And as I use it all, we scratch it out, and then I'll add it to my this is what needs to be ordered list on the other side of the meal planning pad. So that's number 2. Number 3, commit to cleaning out what you have before adding more. So the week that you do your kitchen sweep or the week after your kitchen sweep, commit to eating the items that are still there that you may have forgotten about. If you've got a box of macaroni, make some macaroni, make some pasta. If you found, oh, we have 5 pounds of ground beef I forgot about, might be a good week for tacos, spaghetti, meatloaf. You don't have to necessarily eat all 5 pounds, but you have that there before you go off and buy more chicken. Let's eat through some of this ground beef, right? As an example, on my last sweep, I found a whole bag of salmon that somehow didn't get accounted for. It was all the way at the bottom of the deep freezer. And usually the only thing down at the bottom I keep are like bone broth and what is it? The extra ham bones that I have, like things I don't use often. I'll pull out the ham bones when I make collard greens, which is like maybe 3 times a year. So I just keep that down at the bottom. And the salmon got stuck down there, but found a whole bag of salmon. So guess what? That week we ate a good bit of salmon. And that really is it. That's it. That is the sweep. At the end of the sweep, your pantry, your fridge, your freezer will only have food that you will eat and food that you will enjoy. You know what's in there and you're going to consume it before you go off and buy more things. You're also going to make note, okay, we always eat a lot of this. We don't eat a lot of this, which also is going to prevent you from always wanting to go and eat out because you actually have things you love at home. So again, number 1 is you're going to create your zones, which is, again, your pantry, your fridge, your freezer, and or deep freezer. 2, now that you have your zones, you're going to do these 3 steps in the zones. Go through, pull everything out that's expired. You're not going to eat. You haven't eaten in 3 weeks. You or your family's not going to eat anything that's gone bad. Number 2, you write what's left down. You take inventory. And that'll be helpful, like with making your grocery list. Like, okay, we have a lot of tomato sauce, but no noodles. Let's do noodles and we can do pasta this week. Something like that. Number 3, then you commit to clearing out what you have before you add in any more. And if you do that kitchen sweep, I do it once a quarter, and it is just really, it saves us so much money, so much time. And then after your sweep, I have like a little post cleanup list. Again, number 1, commit to ordering food when you're almost out weekly to see if it works for your family. Again, every family operates different. I have a family of 4. You may have a family of 14. You might need to shop a little bit more frequently or less frequently. But commit to ordering food when you're almost out. And if you can, weekly, to see if that works for your family and to avoid waste. 2, keep track of what's in your zones so you don't double buy or forget what's in there, which again is going to save you money. No need to buy more chicken when you have a full freezer full of salmon. You can eat that and save what you spend on chicken for that week. Number 3, I also clean out and reorganize the pantry and the fridge, freezer as needed during the sweep. So I like to keep the same things with the same. So like as I'm pulling things out, I'm also reorganizing the pantry as needed, making sure, okay, all the sugar or the, monk fruit sweeteners over here and the flours over here and the snacks over here. And the pantry, things like, okay, bread is get this corner, chips get this corner. So I use that as an opportunity to also organize as needed. For the most part, it stays pretty organized. And then in the freezer, I do the same thing. I put desserts in one section of the freezer, smoothie items in another, food we use daily in another section of the freezer. And then everything else is really in the deep freezer, which is it's still in the kitchen, but it's not in the area where we are for most everything. The pantry and the fridge are right next to each other. And the things that we have in the deep freezer, because I know I'll get that question, mainly meats and seafood, because we use a meat service that ships organic, grass-fed meats and wild caught seafood. We're very intentional about consuming a particular type of quality of meat and seafood. And I'll link to that, what we use, in the show notes at besttodayguide.com/15. But our deep freezer is really where we put the bulk stuff, our bulk meat and produce. And by bulk, I just mean we order that service once a month. So we'll get about a month's worth of meat delivered each month. Yeah. And we also have things bulk, and they're like bulk cauliflower, broccoli that we get from Costco that we cook throughout the month as well. So Let me know if this was helpful. If you'd like to continue to share some time-saving things that I do around the house, let me know, and we can do more episodes like this. If you are a Best Today Insider, make sure to check your email, because this week we're going to be sending out a video all about our summer schedule here, and that's going out exclusively to our Best Today email insiders. Joining is free at besttodayguide.com/email. And if you're listening to this beyond, real time, this is still a great time to join the insiders, because one, you won't miss out on future exclusive content. And then two, we will every now and then resend some of the older content in a roundup. So the sooner you join, the better. Again, you can go to besttodayguide.com/email. It's absolutely free. And you can unsubscribe at any time if you find that it's not information that you want to continue to read and receive. And that is it. Again, all links mentioned today will be at besttodayguide.com/15, just 15, which is for episode 15. That's my kitchen sweep that I do quarterly. Like I said, the more you do this, the less time it takes. And the more you begin to do it, you see less chaos in your kitchen, but you also begin to see how it saves you money and time. And it just really helps you become more aware of what you and your family are eating and consuming. All right. Thank you so much for being present with me for today's episode of the Best Today podcast. Until next time, please remember that you are capable and you are worthy of being your best one today at a time. So remember also that you have everything that you need to have everything that you want. So go on and shout it out as you live it out. Our mantra here at Best Today: this is what my best today looks like. I'll talk to you again on the next episode. If you enjoyed this week's episode of the Best Today podcast, you are going to love the Best Today Guide. Our Better Than a Planner guide teaches you how to get clear on what you want, identify your self-destructive habits and behaviors, and intentionally create space to prioritize yourself every single day. Don't go the journey to being your best one today at a time without the Best Today Guide. See inside its pages and order yours today at besttodayguide.com. Even better, when you order the Best Today Guide, we gift you with your first month free inside of the Best Today membership. So what are you waiting for? We're giving you everything you need to trade busy for intention. Go to besttodayguide.com and order yours today, and join thousands of women across the globe proclaiming each day, this is what my best today looks like.